CSBET.GG guarantees to show the actual drop rate with precision to the hundreds. Find the best skins only in cases at CSBET.GG.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the GG.BET Sydney Invitational. This could end up being our final map of the tournament if forZe cannot turn things around. Currently, Heroic up one map in the grand final. My name is Dinko. I'm going to be joined by Mitch throughout the rest of this one, and I am super excited. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. I think forZe put up a phenomenal performance on Nuke. Definitely a lot better than what we expected from them, considering a pretty poor T side, only claiming the first 3 rounds on the back of the pistol win and then a force buy from Heroic, and then one of the last buy rounds. It was a slow start, but even still up on 13 rounds. A comeback certainly gives them a very good chance of winning out here on Mirage, a map that statistically looks a lot better for them, especially with most recent wins. They're up there with something like 12 out of 13 recent games being wins for them, up against some very good teams. And I'm really excited to see if they can maintain the same level of gameplay as we move on to a map where they look better, or if Heroic will be able to pull it out. Because again, it's not a terrible map for them, but statistically things do look better for forZe.
Well, we had a master performance from Mertz coming in from Nuke. Let's see if he can keep up that nuclear performance as we move into Mirage. They can, then that's going to be a big problem for the Russians. They're going to have to deal with that, but that's a good start. Immediately, SSI being dropped by FaceCrack, and that A-bomb site under a hell of a lot of pressure already. Running in towards it, Stavin holding a little bit of a gap here. Flit's going to cross over to the side, and there we go. Bomb plant coming through, unless Stavin can line up the shots right through. Teammate Blimeth has picked up the trade kill elsewhere, and Mertz has got himself a frag as well. It's all on Jerry and Zepar into a 2 versus 4.
Straight towards A pretty standard strategy on the T side round, pistol round. Jerry is last alive 1 versus 4 and spotted out now. The defuse should be very much possible, plausible, and inevitable as it goes down. Heroic guaranteed themselves a 1-0 start. And forZe is probably the more passive of the 2 teams. Although they've got some money in the bank, they could definitely do with saving it over and getting a very convincing buy out in round number 3. I imagine this is going to be just a weaker approach. At the same time, they could early invest here, take out a couple rifles, and try to avoid getting or letting Heroic having a second round on the board. And they will go for a hero rifle, but outside of that, nothing else. There's still a decent chance to get damage done. FaceCrack the only player with armor, and the AK as they move towards B.
Yeah, all coming towards B early. The forZe team, they have a player already up there for Heroic. That's Freiburg. Corner, and something that Heroic were unable to do on Nuke was win a single pistol round. They ended up losing both of them, first half and the second. Get the pistol here on Mirage, and if this is not their pick, they'll want as good of a start as is possible. It's maybe a problem as they're about to walk around the corner. They've got to check Freiburg. He might be able to get more than one here. There's the first kill. Damage done on the Flit. The grenade comes in from Mertz. Great assistance. And that's all on Jerry Almazer and Zepar in a 3v5.
Yeah, this round's certainly not going according to plan.
Oh my god. Alright.
Yep, well, it's fallen apart a little bit more as time goes on. The scout, it's been a while since we've seen a shot like that.
Yep.
I remember the days when it was all too common. Holding B apartments with a scout, jump peeking. Those were the days. That was actually the only role that I played.
But jump scoutmaster.
Yep. My friends hated playing Mirage with me.
I can imagine. Oh, they've got plenty of reasons to hate play Mirage. They hate every map with non-match.
Thank you.
There's a game mode called the Flying Scoutsman you can play.
Indeed.
Was introduced with War Games, and it's actually really fun. It's very fun. But
I'm not gonna lie, I have a built-in monitor crosshair on my monitor that I can turn on. I use it in no scope on the.
Yes, my monitor actually has that as well as like game mode.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. You have to be a certain kind of scumbag to do it. Man, I am that kind.
Well, Mitch, That is beautiful. I mean, you've got to take every edge if you want to win.
Exactly.
If you have to compete at the highest level of Flying Scotsman, you have to.
Hey, it used to be blue tack on the screen, right?
Oh, I used to do that with Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360.
Yeah,
The little bit of blue tack in the middle of it. Oh, well, there we go. Stab and flying in face crack. Jerry coming in with a headshot onto BlameF, and it is a 4v4 at the start of round number 3. Flit is going to start to make his way towards underpass and start to check towards connector, although no one currently positioned there. It's actually a Mazer flying in S-Attack, so the man advantage is with forZe.
For now, at least, Heroic not in the best of positions to hold down the A bomb site. Had it have been a hit there, but they still have 2 players on B. They had 3 as they started that sentence, but now it's only 1. Mertz all alone with a scout. We've seen him jump up and take some players out before, but for it to occur again would be a bit of a miracle. Jerry on low HP is an easy target, but there are 3 players barreling 4 now towards the bomb site, jumping out. He's going to try to catch them on the cross and has to try and stay alive, but eliminated by the AWP, with Freiburg going down. This round is almost assuredly going to forZe. Down would have to have the clutch of his career again.
I don't think that would be his career clutch, to be fair. Yeah, the better one yesterday.
Well, indeed. With low HP this time, I'd be very impressed if he took down 4 with 24 HP on the B bomb site retake. Everything is against him there.
Yeah, he's got to run away. It will be a pick up for forZe. So that's a good sign though, Mitch. You know, they find the first gun run going their way easily enough. They keep 4 players alive. They hit in towards the B bomb site. Obviously, Heroic had carried some weaker weapons over. Mertz had the scout, not exactly the greatest weapon for holding B bomb site solo. But he does get overwhelmed and overrun, and forZe will have success towards B. It will be the first gun run going their way, and the scoreline is a 2-1.
forZe getting themselves on the scoreboard early on.
The code bird to get yourself
there
a
you
little
go.
cheeky bonus over at GG.BET.
That worked out quite nicely.
It's intended, of course.
Completely
it's
intended.
100%
Absolutely.
intended.
Well, 2-1. Look, early on, they're on the scoreboard. As forZe clock up the 1 round, they've got a little bit of money in the back pocket as well, thanks to not losing everybody in the previous. 4 players left alive. But Heroic are looking much the same. They've got their weapons out, and they're ready to find a little bit of a fight. Over towards the A-bomb site, it's only S-Attack to hold down as 3 players stack up there. The bomb not going to be moving towards either side just yet, though, sitting towards the top of middle. Holding down, and a bit of aggressive control from Heroic. Look at the position currently in play for BlameF. Flashbang goes in, he peeks towards top middle, but that timing couldn't be worse. Flit's able to catch him from bottom mid. That's worked out so poorly for Heroic, despite it being a very good play.
Yeah, Freiburg and S-Attack left alone. It's only Freiburg into the 1 versus 4. He's got to run all the way through the apartments. A very difficult challenge of even finding 1 or 2 here. He's going to come in from behind him though. The bomb is coming over. Freiburg does go towards the ramp quickly enough. He might be able to pick off 1 or 2 players, and their economy modest later stages for Heroic. Start to make his way up towards the ramp. Currently there is face crack. Freiburg is going to pick him off. Headshot there. Attempt for the AK instead. He's going to run away with this AK-47 saved, and that's actually not too bad. I mean, if you go in, get the weapon, fall away, as long as he hangs on to it, be relatively happy. So Flit is pretty close by towards his position. Just going to be waiting. Freiburg eventually looks to go through here, and Flit's going to be holding it. There's the kill. Flit able to grab himself 3. It's 2-2. Freiburg doesn't even get to save, and the money isn't good for the Danes. So this is a chance here for forZe to try and get a little bit of a lead started on Mirage again, which is their pick. And again, to reiterate the point, which to reiterate the point, this is very much a must-win for forZe.
Indeed, a very important round for them to bring over a 3rd. If they lost here, it would just be abysmal to the USPs. Not where you want to fall. 2 kills go down straight away, though. Heroic getting the work done early on. This could be dangerous. Starting to inch ever closer towards the top of middle, where Z-Power sits down, but Almazar is there to help out, thankfully, so they should be able to lock it down. and avoid losing any more players. Coming up behind is Blame F, though. He's going to try to get some work done in the back lines. Davin, hearing the players on short, knows it's going to be a B hit. Blame starts the rotation through the apartments. He's Molotov'd off, but slow walking from this point. He will make it there just as the Molotov dissipates, though he will not be slowed down by it, as the bomb is now being planted. Blame F caught off guard. He was being watched by Flit, so nothing he could achieve. Stown manages to pick up an MP7, MP5 SD. I'm used to just being 7 and 9. Still catches me off. It's just a worse version of the MP7 statistically, with a silencer.
Well, we've actually seen a lot of people, a lot of players, actually most of them, have decided to go for the MP5 over the MP7. We barely ever get to see that in play anymore. Yeah, like you said, yeah, on statistics and on paper, the MP7 is better, but perhaps they just prefer the silencer.
Yeah, a little bit of nostalgia perhaps as well. You know, it is a nice weapon. Certainly feels like it handles very well.
They're probably going to do the same thing. You know, the rifle, the SMG is probably going to come out with the same outcome anyway. It's kind of a weapon that is used in very particular scenarios where you want to build up as much money as possible against unarmored opponents. It's going to do the exact same, no matter what SMG it is. Apart from the Bison, it's terrible. Never buy the Bison.
I think UMP is just across the board though the favorite.
P90.
Well, so see, it's a little bit more expensive, and yeah.
That star.
That's it.
Really. That's against Davin. I mean, Jerry and Flit with the man advantage, and again another kill from Freiburg off camera leaves Almirza and Zepar in a very difficult position. Mitch, they're going to find themselves a way back into a 2v4.
Yeah, to pull it back from the 2v4 position is going to be certainly a challenge for these Russian players as they make their way towards the A-bomb site. You got to be careful because they've no palace control. They should know that. Nobody came through there. Blame F up close though, and see, because he's playing so passively, oh god, he's gonna find the kill as well. I don't think they'll expect S-Attack to be here.
Well,
as they rotate back, but I mean, Zepar might not matter at all.
Yeah,
so far away.
I don't think it will matter too much here because Zepar is in a very impossible position either way. On V4. Towards the underpass, he'll start to make his way up the top of the stairs. No one is really there to cause too many problems. The closest player is currently down, but Freiburg's just come across into his crosshair. I don't know if he's been spotted, but the scope of the steps definitely making himself known. Bomb has to be recovered with 25 seconds, no time. All about saving. He's put himself in between a rock and a hard place at this point, and to go back down towards underpass and seek refuge elsewhere. Heroic, obviously waiting. They'll probably peak after the time. But they aren't really in an economic position where they can throw away their rifles either, so there is the kill. Actually just before the time, Stan will pick him up. Zepar finished off, and it's 3-3.
Tied up yet again. The Heroic looking better though because they've got the full buy. They've got the rifles and the AWP for free. Whereas forwards are going to have to make the investment and push their economy to the edge. Even still, Heroic aren't looking phenomenal on money. They still have a couple players pretty low. I assume it is going to be the call for the full buy from forwards. I'd be very surprised. They've called a timeout, but I assume that's a tactics-based timeout, not a discussion on whether they want to go for an eco, just where they want to take the rifles, and if they want an AWP. Although with Zepar on the team, I don't think if they want an AWP is ever really in question. As long as it's financially viable, it's going to happen.
Well, the bomb is being left at spawn while forZe are telegraphing by leaving the bottom there that they want to go for a bit of a default play. But across the map, test the waters everywhere. Make sure that they can try and find a pick, and that's exactly what Zepar will find. A pick onto Mertz towards middle, and he's won that alt battle again here round number 7, which is definitely the start they need. They need to keep Mertz quiet. He definitely was an unbelievable asset for Heroic on that last map, and they'll definitely try and get rid of him or as much as possible here on forwards. He caused so many problems for them, so now they have an easier time of it on paper into the 5v4.
We're seeing a lot more from BlameF early on now. He's the player that's kind of relying on to be dealing the damage that Mertz was before while he tries to get on his feet. The CT side, not yet really found many openings. Just the one opening kill on the board for him. Although the buy runs have been scarce. Jerry with a nice opening with the Krieg. Takes down Esatag. Moving towards the A-bomb side, seeing quite a lot of damage for the T's. I think at this point Heroic could consider a save, and even more so as there's only 2 of them left alive.
Yeah, well, BlameF is close by CT, Freiburg in jungle. Like you said, save call definitely looking like the most tantalizing option here. BlameF is just going to sit in CT itself. Hope that someone walks into his crosshair. At that point, you might be able to pick off a couple of players on the exit, give himself some extra cash into the bank, and try and keep the economy modest to forZe. It's not well built up, and like you said just before we went into this round, Heroic's money wasn't in a good position either, so we've ended up here, forZe actually coming out on top. And if we move into the second round, the next round after this, shall I say, things are definitely going to look pretty dire for Heroic. Money's good on Esatag, Freiburg and BlameF, so they'll get the buy-in. But definitely going to be missing some pieces, and I think this time it really is the last stand for them. If they end up losing this, they most definitely will be on the eco. That's where forZe could actually sort of grind themselves out a bit of a lead here and carve themselves a good half here on the T side. So Heroic, last stand.
Indeed, one last stand for them. They're on their last legs economically. We're going to see presence towards the A-bomb side being made early on. As forZe stack up with lots of utility in hand, it looks like it will be an A execute. Flit gives up any control towards apartments or middle, meaning the push should come in momentarily. You've got Esatag under wood. Mertz looking down with the AWP from CT, and he's going to get contact straight away.
Straight away on towards the site. FitzCrack to open things up, but it's Esatag with a flash assist from Stav, and the results on a kill on Flit. Almizra and Zpar answer back with 2 quick kills themselves, and it's a man advantage for forZe Esports as they get on towards the A-bomb site. It's got to be a retake here from Heroic. They have a kit on the hands of Freiburg, and he's got himself a kill as well. 3v3, utility still alive on the CTs. They need one more kill, but Zpart peeks beyond the Molotov, and he gets himself 2 kills. What the hell is that from Zpart? BlameF left in a 1 versus 3, and at this point, it's looking scary.
Z watching the angle, his head's taken clean off. Goodbye, Z-Power. Oh, we got 3 kills on the board this round, but no more to be found as Blame desperately trying to get this round over into their favor. Finds one more. The Molotov down, though. That's going to run the time down way too low. Although BlameF will make it out alive, the round win is not possible anymore. I think Jerry is no longer for this world. 3 HP, yep, he's eliminated. I don't think BlameF realizes that, though. He was holding for a push.
Well, that's always heartbreaking. Zpar is the man there that really won that round for forZe. You know, that retake was looking pretty likely from Heroic. We even seen BlameF nearly pull it off himself. Zpar getting those 2 kills on the AWP is really what solidifies their chances there on forZe. Heroic are going to call their first tactical timeout of the game. In 2,500 around that. 2.5 to 3k in the bank. Should allow them to move into the next round after this with a relatively solid buy. And they've also got that 1 hero AK here from BlameF. They could probably pick up a couple of pistols upgraded without the Kevlar, and that would give themselves a nice little chance to do some damage and might even steal away a round. We've seen that happen quite a bit, which is just teams winning off the back of a couple of upgraded pistols, 1 hero AK. So forZe definitely need to give this buy the respect that should. It's only the 1 upgraded pistol coming through onto Freiburg.
Indeed, Heroic have the opportunities here for sure, but they will be difficult to follow through on. With barely any pistols upgraded, just a Deagle and an AK remaining in the round, does push us to heavily favor forZe. We're grouping up at the moment with the bomb, although actually not yet focusing towards the site despite their early opening kill. Just sitting on top middle with Z-Power and FaceCrack. Almazar begins a rotation towards the bomb site, but as they take down BlameF, that's the AK dropped. And even though the AK is going to be retrievable, it still puts us in a very favorable position. Because as soon as he goes into an Angel, unless he lands the first shot as a headshot, the gun kick is going to come in to play, and it's going to be very dangerous indeed. Stavin pushing towards Palace, spotted out, low HP, has to fall back, and this round is pretty much unrecoverable for Heroic at this point, you would imagine.
I definitely is. Stavin on his own with an AK-47. That's targets there with the default pistol, the USP. Seconds control here for forwards. Eventually they will make their commit in towards the A-bomb site. Will be a split, and I think we got to look at Stavin. He's over towards B. It's all on Perez attack. This crack will find him. Stavin into the 1 versus 5 after hanging on to that AK-47, and again that's not too bad. Although forwards, another clean round win, they can really start to build that money up.
We can really see that amp up in performance from BlameF, especially in the clutch in the previous round. Obviously didn't get much done with the AK here. But all in all, clocking up around the 180 or it's a well-rounded performance from forZe that's on the cards. The damage is pretty evenly distributed. Despite the kills maybe not representing that, you've always got those assists in play. The thing here for forZe really, with 6 rounds on the board so early on and 5 players left alive at the end of the round, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of potential rebuy. It gives you a nice buffer that even though Heroic come into this round with money, with the ability to take out full weaponry for sure alongside util for the most part and a double op setup, forZe, even if they lose this, they have 1 and probably a second buy even after that to fall back onto, especially if they can get a bomb plant down in either one of the next 2 rounds. Or this or the next round. Just this position that's very hard to beat down. The economy now of the T's and that they've got control.
Well, that's a great opening onto Jerry. That gives the advantage on over to Heroic immediately. That's something they haven't really been having, Mitch, is that opening kill. They've lost it quite consistently. And to the man usually has finding the kills at Z-Par, and he's got himself the trade at least. He's so consistent on finding the opening kills. This time when they lose that opening kill, he's right back in it with the trade kill.
They're quite happy to find that trade. I mean, setting up with this the same setup that they went for in the previous round and have been kind of sticking to. This time though, they're seeking a little bit of mid control to go alongside that a hit early on, despite not having huge advantages. They try to take the fights. Freiburg's repelling them from connector and dropping the bomb in the process, leaving into a 3 versus 2 where Facecrack and Z-Power have to do all the work. But Stown is happy to eliminate Facecrack up on top of Ticket Booth. It's all on the op. We've seen Z-Power have some big plays before. Is this where he makes a huge difference for his team? Damage to Stown, finished by the Molly. Into a 1v2, but no time really on his side.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, right, is the time. Unlikely he wins it, but he is looking desperately for kills. It's just not coming to him. Being played perfectly here from Heroic, and I think Z-Pod knows that he just can't win it. The bomb obviously too far gone. He was just looking for a couple of kills to come towards him. At this point, the name of the game is the save call. Another technical pause coming in for Heroic. Hope there's not TeamSpeak, because seriously, they've definitely got some problems.
Yeah, indeed, some form of problems coming through. Techno, says Stown.
Well, Mitch, question is, do you like techno music?
I don't. I can't think of anything that I'd define as techno music. I like synthwave.
Okay.
I don't know if that's within the same bracket.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an expert on it, but the techno music I was introduced to, I know I've kind of listened to it before, but I've never really specifically went, oh, I like this music. This is techno, right? You know, never really thought of the genre. But I got introduced to some techno music at a party, I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was awful. Literally. I could have made better music going around the kitchen, buying you random things and recording it. Literally, open the cupboard, find, there's a pot, bang! Record that, go into the fridge, just smash a bottle, literally. Crazy stuff, Mitch. Not my favorite music, I have to say.
You're very passionate about this, Stinko. I didn't think that the word techno would bring out such hatred. You just immediately.
It's just a trigger word. Honestly. Also, like, the biggest part you have to record is the dripping of the tap into like a basin or something. Drip. It's terrible. Terrible music, Mitch. Anyway, let's move into the action. The technical pause seems to have been resolved. We're getting to round number 11. Zepar is hungry for that opening kill. He has won it quite consistently, but this time, I think Heroic know that that's a problem, so aren't giving him that early kill just yet.
This is a different setup as well from forZe now, clearly putting a little bit less faith in their mid take. Looking to do just a straight up A hit coming through the ramp and the palace. Let's see what they can land with it. They've got utility to deploy. Heroic could be completely cut off. They've got a player in CT and 2 towards connector. These smokes are going to definitely obscure their vision. They have a choice to go past it if they want to. Mertz is able to pick up one somehow. Even behind the smoke, it's no problem for him. And a 5 versus 4 ensues. But forZe now should have control of that bomb site, unless Heroic want to push straight through the smokes, which Freiburg has no problem with going over.
Zepar, down, will go down, and that is going to be a face crack. Answering right back onto Mertz. He's looking for some more as well. In behind the Ninja's boxes, teammates around him just need to stay alive. Zepar will find Freiburg. Jerry already finished off, but they know that face crack is there. They know he was there at least, and BlameF is going to have to walk around the corner. That's the kill on a face crack, all on Zepar into the 1v2. He's going to be dropped by BlameF, and the time, it's there for the defuse, and it will be 5 here on the board for Heroic.
Starting to close in that gap, make sure it's not a too one-sided of a game. I think forZe, with 6 rounds on the board already, you're looking pretty good because they've got a full buy coming out right now on the back of the bomb plant. That gives them a decent chance to maybe even find a 7th. If they do so, an 8th on the board, because Heroic would be beaten back even further, having to go into the depths of their economy. They're taking an overdraft in the bank. It's going to be a risky round. I think Heroic really do need to win this. They've got a double op setup coming into it. Esatag and Mertz definitely standout players for this team. Although so far it's all been the BlameF show. 103 ADR so far. He's been the man to stop. Taking his position towards the top, well, the middle at the moment, but he'll be going for the top mid push a little bit later on when he gets support in the form of a flashbang from Esatag or when Esatag takes contact. But that's not going to happen. forZe stacking over towards B. It's just going to be a raw hit. The positions Heroic are in do allow them to have pretty quick rotations towards that bomb site. Laying on, I'm very surprised to see them rotating back over. They had no control of A or mid. They don't know if Heroic had pushed at that point. And indeed they have. BlameF in a very aggressive position. Like we said, he takes down Z-Power. He's taken another. Then the AWP's there to support him as well. We're just waiting for Esatag to find a frag. With it, a down, takes down one in apartments. There's Esatag. And it's all on Jerry. I mean, that's the problem. If you take so much control towards one part of the map and put all 5 players there, but then if you decide not to commit to that bomb site, I mean, you have no idea where the CTs can be at that point. Every corner becomes a very risky thing to move across.
This is actually starting to scare me a little bit. forZe getting picked apart again here. Heroic find themselves a bit of a foothold on the CT side of Mirage. You be careful that forZe don't end up losing control of this game, not only physically but mentally as well. You have to remember, Mitch, they are currently 1 map down in the grand final, and the prize is massive. For a team like forZe, this would be absolutely incredible. Spot at IEM Sydney is on the line for these two teams. Heroic An organization that's definitely had its ups and downs, has got the infrastructure there, they've got the players now, the players are definitely hungry to prove themselves on a big international stage. So both of these teams are hungry for that place. Currently Heroic closer to it than forZe, but forZe want themselves to pull it back here on Mirage, get themselves fighting on that third map. Got a lot of work to do though, because Heroic look to be pole position, perhaps take it over the line for 7, but put them in the lead.
It tends to always be the CT side for Heroic that they do a kind of mediocre job on, right? Like a 9-6 scoreline, but it's the T side that I'm looking forward to seeing from them, and that causes me to worry. You know, if forZe can't clock up a 7th or an 8th round here, well then that puts Heroic in a nice position, knowing that they can of course fall back onto a pretty decent T side. Already starting it out pretty poorly in this round, as you'd expect. forZe coming in with majority pistols, but with so much money invested, you want to see some return for investment. Not the case just yet, though. That money is out the window as Jerry and Z-Power are the last 2 players alive, and the op that they carried forward is not going to find anything in this round.
Well, Jerry grabs himself a kill, but that's all he'll find. Freiburg finishes him off at 7-6, with the lead taken by Heroic as expected. As we move into round number 14, this is where the problems could perhaps arise again for Heroic, as forZe are going to be on to the bye. If we have a little look at the scoreboard, recent success for Heroic has been 4 runs in a row. Definitely been feeling it. They've won of all the different varieties. You know, they've won by time twice, defuse, and by elimination. So they've done it all, Mitch. They want to keep doing it all as they come into round number 14. It'll be the double up setup, and Mertz will result in an early kill onto Facecrack. Early pick for Heroic, but it's an answer back perhaps from forZe. They want to get on towards the A bomb site. Jerry's got himself a kill. Amazing running right through the fire and flames. BlameF sitting underneath the wood, waiting for the players to come in towards him. It's BlameF for the first kill. Flit answers right back, and it's into a 3v3. Coming back in towards the site, it's Z-Power onto Stown and Mertz and Freiburg. They've got a 2v3 here.
Indeed, a position to pull back from, but we talked before about how Heroic are so good at playing from behind. Maybe not this time, though, as Mertz is left on a 1v3 and spotted out by Flit, taken down in the open and put 7-7. forZe now doing their job and making sure that things aren't going too heavily in favor of Heroic, as they now look pretty good on the T side. I mean, coming into this round, they've got a full buy. It's going to be a very even, economic round for both sides. And an 8th would definitely help out forZe, but I don't think it's even going to be a travesty if it does go to Heroic. This gives them plenty of breathing room, especially if forZe can manage to win the pistol round to start off the next half.
Well, BlameF starts things off again perfectly for Heroic. 2 kills coming into this. Essetag with 1 as well. Jerry and Z-Power on their own in a very difficult clutch scenario. WP for Z-Power is desperately looking for some sort of opening to try and pull it back slightly, but it's all on Z-Power. Stavin has connected onto Jared. Z-Power hits the shot finally, but it might not be enough. He has to run back towards T spawn. He'll look for behind, but no one is there. I think the only saving grace at this point for him, Mitch, is there's time. But the bomb's on the floor. There's currently 2 players in CT looking right at the bomb. Z-Power, he has only got an AWP, and I say only got an AWP, it's obviously one of the most impactful weapons in the game, but in a 1v4 it's pretty hard, because if you hit one shot and you get peeked somewhere else very quickly, you can't really flick back to that position and get that kill. So Z-Power, this is probably as hard as it gets. Gonna come out of Palace, look on towards default, spots the boost, can't get the kill. He'll take a lot of damage on board. The smoke goes through, but BlameF will end the half with a triple kill. The grenade to end it, and it will be a very solid performance from BlameF going into the second half already. 18 kills and 8 deaths. In behind that, Freiburg on 10 and 7, which is definitely a different approach for Heroic.
Indeed, we don't usually see this much of a dispersion of kills, especially not with Essetag and Stown down towards the bottom of the scoreboard with a combined total of 11 kills. As we went into that last round, and indeed coming out with 13 in the end. It's unusual, to say the least. But let's see if things are going to change, because I feel like as Heroic swap over towards that terrorist side, we're definitely going to see them. But we'll see them with a lot more room to maneuver with. And we talked before about how we think this map in general looks a little bit better statistically for forZe. Just against, you know, similar level teams, they've been putting up a much better showing all in all. With 8-7 on the scoreboard, I think they're certainly seeming like the stronger side. One thing that is quite worthy of a remark, though, is that ZPower found 14 kills altogether in that half. Only 2 of those were openings, which is in stark contrast to what we usually see from the AWPer. Indeed, both AWPers had a very quiet game in terms of opening up rounds.
I think ZPower was relatively strong at the start of the half with those openings, and then very much it came down to the rifles that were finding the kills. I think ZPower was finding himself in a lot of clutch scenarios, and obviously not very winnable clutch scenarios, which is definitely never the way you want those to go. But we move into the second half. It's Heroic on the T side, forZe on towards the CT side. It's going to be a very important pistol for both teams. It's as even as you can get it, as close as you can go. And it will be on the CT side. Jerry with a nade and a defuse kit. ZPower on the smoke. He'll actually leave himself $500 in the bank because, like we said earlier, loves to get the AWP in his hands as much as possible. And it is going to be a play in towards B immediately from Heroic, charging right in. They've played it on retake.
Interesting strategy. I mean, to retake A is certainly an understandable one. Seeing it on B, I'm surprised, and let's see if they're going to be able to work with this as they push back in. The Glock's obviously posted up, well in position, and ready to eliminate. Mertz coming with a quick double headshot.
God, Mertz just got all 4. Mertz just held short and they all ran into him. Mertz lines them all up, all the kills come through, and Mertz melts them like a hot knife through butter. It is a pickup for Heroic. The pistol goes their way, and that's as easy as you can get it if you're Mertz.
Absolutely. Easy does it. Just tapping away with the Glock and keeps on getting the kills. 9-7. Look, if forZe won that pistol, things would look a lot better for them. But now Heroic are back on track. Coming into what should be a 10-7 scoreline, provided they don't lose to 1 P250 alongside USPs. I think things have very much evened out. There's going to be a lot of weight on this next buy round. Blame F is looking to farm some money with the MAC-10, taking first contact across the board with the exception of the apartments push that Freiburg was soon to fend off, but he actually rotates over towards the T-spawn, or towards middle to help his teammates out, so we won't be seeing the Palace push anytime soon. If Flame F can find a couple of kills here, get the money to reinvest in, or to invest into an AK for the next round, I think things will be looking good for both teams. And I would be... Usually you see players carry over the SMGs and they play it as a bonus round, but I think the next round is one that would warrant the investment, with it being just so important.
Well, Heroic dropping them like flies. They have lost only Blame F, and really not too much more will be found by forZe here. Just to let everybody know in the chat, obviously, while there's a little bit of downtime, you can head on over to GG.BET because they've got a really cool bonus running right now. It was a couple of days ago much higher. It's been dropping by 50% each day, which means there's very limited time. You've literally got 1 day left. Just this. You get a 150% bonus on your deposit with the promo code BIRD, like the one that flies in the sky, Mitch. One with the wings. Make sure you're going over to GG.BET. Snatch your chance to get that juicy bonus.
I'll give you, all birds do have wings. They don't all fly, though.
That is true. Ostrich.
So, penguins as well.
Dodo bird.
I assume all birds have wings. That's got to be a defining factor of being called a bird, right?
Yeah. Well, are gargoyles birds? They've got wings, right?
They also have wings, yeah. I don't know.
Unicorn
would they be
bird?
considered
Some unicorn.
birds?
Oh, is it Pegasus maybe that has...
I mean, we're pulling some really weird...
Yeah, I said a dodo bird,
unicorn.
but it doesn't do much but just sit in museums stuffed. But ZPower, he's got to find himself Freiburg. will be the man advantage for the CT side. And it'll be utility being tossed on over. Almazir holding the spot. They're going to cross on over, and Almazir's just sitting here, letting them come on by. Almazir plays it perfectly. There's the headshot on the Essetag. A second from Almazir as well. And Mertz and BleemF, they've got to pull off a 2v5 here for Heroic. BleemF will start it off with 1 kill, but needs more than that.
Well, Mertz 1 versus 4 already found the opening at least onto Face Crack. Gonna try to cross over towards the van and find another, but Flit with the AUG was able to take a bit of a pixel peek and take him down. It's 10-8. CT side have claimed another round and closed in the gap. And now Heroic sitting on the round 1 loss bonus. Or technically round 0, I think. $1,400. Terrorists call a timeout as they attempt to decide what they want to do. They can take a force buy, which is definitely viable considering 2 players are going to be double eco. Or they can decide to save the money and have a really nice economy when they eventually go for a full buy. Either way, it should result in forZe winning this round. With Freiburg investing, it becomes evident that the double eco players don't feel like waiting any longer. They're going to force up right now, which means the rest of the team should do so as well. And so forZe face a little bit of a stronger opponent, but it is still going to be, should be a walk in the park. Galil, the only long-range weapon in play right now for Heroic, deployed alongside P250s and a MAC-10.
Well, utility come on and on over. It will be the smoke towards the top of the stairs. Cross on over, but Z-Power's there with the shot on the op. And the push just keeps coming through for Heroic. They have 4 players on the A bomb side. Bomb plant tries to come through, but Flit hits Essetag right through the box. He was very low indeed, and that denies the bomb plant and might just deny any chances here for Heroic. But as soon as I say that, Mertz and Freiburg, they spring into action. Now this could still fall apart. Flit in the connector. Freiburg's walked right past him. Flit's there, just behind the smoke. They don't see each other. Freiburg has no idea. He's crossed it over, but Flit has an idea. Surely one of them spots each other. It's Freiburg to spot him first. But the cover that Flit had was just too strong, and he will drop Freiburg. My BleemF into a 1v3. Coming back through middle. There's the kill onto Flit. Now has a 1 versus 2. He's been performing the best here for Heroic, and has to try and keep that up. 2 more players to find, 40 seconds to do it. The problem is the bomb is on the floor, and a bigger problem is Z-Power was watching the connector with his op. It's 9 for forZe Sports, and this is becoming a very exciting game.
Indeed it is. It's becoming very exciting indeed. I'm cracking up just waiting to see what's going to happen in this round, Dinko, but I think it's going to be a pretty underwhelming one. Heroic have no money.
Yeah, I'd probably say this one is definitely going to be one where forZe will just brush them aside. And in a way, that's actually more exciting because that means the scoreline is 10 apiece. And that means it's right down to the final nail. I guess exciting when it hits the double figures and we're still going back and forth. That means that things are going to go right down to the final few rounds, and really comes down to which team is going to grab that economy control. It looks like to be a waterfall strategy here from Heroic, but it's Jerry lining them up. 3 kills coming through. Face Crack gets 2 more, and it's 10-10. forZe Sports back it up.
Here's their challenge, though. Heroic bringing out the weapons. The big boys' toys are here to play, as forZe are looking to stay on top of the scoreboard. Tied up right now. Just 1 round away from it, but so is Heroic. Thing is, I mean, forZe so far on the CT side, they're showing us exactly why we favor them coming into this map overall. With a 16-13 scoreline on Nuke, it shows us these teams are definitely closer than we even estimated. As to be honest, I thought that double digits would have been a difficult reach for forZe, especially with how the first half started on Nuke. But they showed us with a massive comeback on the CT side. Now as we move over 10 to 10, it'll be the CT again that redeems them and pushes them to a third map of Overpass, where everything would be on the line.
Well, mid-tier comes through from Heroic. Yeah, I've already got 3 players there. It's sitting up towards short, but it's actually connected. It'll be under pressure here as BlameF's already up through it. Flit waiting. Eventually, Essetine and Mertz will come towards him. Flit needs to go massive. He needs to find at least one of these 2 players. You've gone through ladder room. Basecrack can assist him on the other end of jungle. We'll just sit here and wait for the information to be gathered. As soon as that little vent is broken, then we'll realize there's players in there, and that's perhaps when Flit decides to strike and work in tandem with his teammate in jungle. 30 seconds left. Heroic can't wait too much longer. Eventually they will have to make their play, and it looks to be towards the B bomb site. Molotov hits the head of his teammate. Down is going to be having to hop through the window and try and take these fights, but they've just walked past a player who's still up inside the apartments. No one's checked him. He could be the big problem here. Already on the site, but no, Almazer's found by Stown. He gets 2 kills. It's FaceCrack and Jerry. They have a huge clutch to have to come in, and FaceCrack's got himself a triple kill. Finally finished off by Freiburg. And BlameF and Freiburg, it's Noel and Freiburg now, as Jerry has actually picked up BlameF. This is absolutely chaotic as Freiburg stays alive on short. You'll have to try and win this through for Heroic. Time ticking. The stand here biding his time as Jerry coming back in from kitchen. Time ticking. Jerry there towards the kitchen door. The time is so low. There's no kit alive. I think he's lost already. At this point he has. He's just got to find a kill here. Freiburg will peek out, find Jerry. And that was absolutely chaotic, Mitch. It was kind of hard to keep track with the camera switching everywhere, but chaos definitely ensued on the B-bomb site.
Well, look, another round for the T side puts them in a very strong position now. The buy coming through for one side. It certainly shouldn't be the CTs. Jerry on such low money, though I suppose they could get a little bit of a weak drop over to him. You know, on the back of everybody else having 4K. But it's going to be hard to get the util and the AUGs out if they wanted to. I mean, we've already seen that pretty much every CT side at this point is deploying multiple, if not entirely, AUGs alongside an AWP. And so despite the fact that, you know, you glance at their economy, you go, ah, they've got a full buy here. Jerry just can't buy. Yeah, but they wouldn't have utility. There's another one of those technical pauses coming through. TeamSpeak's acting up today, boys. Been hacked. Perhaps. Something's going down. But no, like, at a glance, you look at forZe and go, yeah, they can probably buy here, no problem. But I think it is the right decision. Wait for the next round. It's not like it's, you know, 15-10 or 14-10, and that if they eco here, it's then 5 rounds in a row for just an overtime or whatever. They've got a buffer to work with. It's a close score line. There's no point risking it all on a half-assed buy.
Well, Heroic are leading only by 1. Like I said, it has come down to a game of economy. The forwards are going for the more conservative approach, leaving as much as possible in the bank. Move into the next one with a very strong buy indeed. Heroic are kind of glad about that, I would probably say. Obviously they can't know, but if they come at them with a forced buy here, forZe could have actually got a similar buy as to what Heroic have. They could have really challenged them. But with forZe going for the conservative approach, Heroic are going to be very thankful, because that allows them to have a better chance at building some cash on their own side of things, and perhaps just at the right time as well, as you move into the late stages of Mirage.
You can tell at this stage that Heroic know what they're up against. The slow strategies up against the pistols are certainly not uncommon. Utility being thrown over towards the A bomb site. No intention as of yet to commit to it as the bomb sits on A. Or sits outside B, rather. Palace control's already seized by forZe, so that could cause a couple of problems now.
This is exactly where they're going though. Staffen's going to come on in. It's Jerry onto Essetag. There's players sitting here on the B bomb site for the CT side, and this could get messy. Almazer is a second player here. BlameF doesn't expect him to be there, but doesn't matter. He will still take the kill. Mertz will find 2 as well. And, oof, danger averted. That could have been messy though. 2 players sitting there. One of them goes unchecked. It could have ended very badly.
Yeah, so I said they clearly knew what they were up against, but by the looks of things, they didn't. As the round kind of descended on into chaos with the very spread out play, that gives forZe the best possible chance to win with the pistols. But they're not able to connect the kills, sadly, and on 12 to 10. It's Heroic with a bit of a lead, but here's the chance for forZe to pull it back. A double up setup on the CT side. Sees Z-Power taken out without a single kill. That's not something you'll see all too often coming through. S-Tag as well onto Jerry. This is not looking good. Flit has the potential to find a kill here as a very low HP S-Tag rotates out towards the bomb site to help his team get that bomb planted. Watch out on the other side of that smoke, though. Face cracks there, ready to crack some heads.
Well, advantage sides with the CTs as they come back in. It is Mertz finding Almirza. Site is theirs, and Stavin is going to send towards the back of the site. 2 kills coming through, and that'll be Heroic pulling it right back. They had the man deficit, but they still make it work on the A bomb site. 13 to 10. They're only 3 away from booking themselves a spot at IEM Sydney. What a storyline has been. Heroic, you know, bringing a new player into the roster. A lot more firepower is there, and they are definitely showing up. And Stown is that man. He has just been finding impact across every series for this team. Incredible stuff, especially being such a young player.
Yeah, it really is astounding. I mean, this young talent is going to go far, that's for sure. And you already see his impact in a lot of these rounds, a lot of these games recently for Heroic. He's certainly here to stay. The pistols for forZe are not looking good. I mean, this is 14, almost guaranteed in the board. It all hinges on the next buy round. If forZe can't win that, the comeback is almost impossible to mount. See if they can find a couple rifles to save over for the next round. Probably the ideal scenario. Heroic coming in without any AWPs in play. Definitely where they want to be at up against these pistols.
Well, Heroic are starting to take mid-control very slowly. No one from forZe causing too many problems, but as soon as I say that, Mertz does take a little bit of damage through the smoke. 55 seconds on the clock. Heroic making sure that they do not put a foot wrong. They do not want to throw away a run like this, but FaceCrack, he's waiting for Mertz to come through the murder hole. The higher murder hole, shall I say. A bit of a different one, but it's S-Tag finding FaceCrack. The first kill is there, and Mertz somehow stays alive in that position. Z-Power has rotated on over towards B alongside 2 more of his teammates, but it's the A bomb site where Heroic have decided to strike, and the only player here to cause any problems for the T's is Jerry, and he's only got a P250. He will be coming in from behind. Freiburg falling, and I now know where Jerry is. He's got himself an M4, knows S-Tag is close by. It's actually an AK-47. The skin, the Asimov, threw me off a little bit, Mitch, but now the AK has its own Asimov. At this point, forZe, they're just going to try and see if there's whatever they've got, because Jerry finding an AK, that's not too bad.
Yeah, we expected them to just try to save any weapons that they got their hands on coming into this round. It's not too much of a surprise. But the problem is Heroic, we've got 4 players left alive at the end of the round. But not even that. That's kind of talking about the long game of it, which in a way will take place. I mean, look, if Heroic lose the next round, it just means they've got a full buy to fall back on. But at this point, I think that's even out of the question. forZe just need to get a round on the board. They've got to stop them here and now, because if they cannot put an end to the momentum from Heroic, I mean, it's only 2 rounds left to go, and this buy round is it's their last legs, their last chance to really make this work. A timeout is even called by Heroic to discuss the tactics that they want to deploy coming into what could be the second last round for them of this series and of this tournament. Like we said, the place for at IEM Sydney is on offer. That's something that both of these teams desperately want. And Heroic are definitely the ones that are closer to getting it right now.
Yeah, only 2 rounds away from booking themselves a spot down under, where the words are weird and the call-outs are diggity. And we are ready to get into round number 25. It is forZe on the AWP. The AK-47 for Jerry that he did save on over into this one. Not from Z part. They've got to do it here, otherwise things are going to look very, very difficult indeed. Heroic are in the driver's seat. It's up to them to mess this one up. It's theirs to lose.
With an AWP in play for Mertz, posted down towards B, that smoke's going to dissipate eventually in the B apartments and offer him an angle to potentially find some picks towards the B bomb site. Heroic very spread out early on. They're just looking for the map control and to ensure that no pushes come through. They find no contact in the B apartments, and Palace and Ramp showing just as many signs of life. With that, it does seem to be a bit of a mid-take. 2 players top mid, 2 players bottom, and of course Freiburg sitting outside of the A bomb site, ready to push in and pincer them from the connector and either Ramp or Palace. And by the looks of it, Ramp ready to crack on with it. The AWP of Mertz comes out, and now forZe have no mid control, and 3 players stacked towards B. This A bomb site is looking dangerously exposed.
Yeah, at least they're playing in behind the smokes though, Mitch. They are in a retake position, so they can allow those 3 players from B to rotate in, and that way they can try and retake the bomb site together. That being, if Heroic can even make it onto the site, it's going to be Esatag falling. Face crack instantly dropped, and so Jerry has a lot of work to do. The Molotov going towards him. 10 seconds, they've got to get that bomb planted. Jerry can't deny it due to the Molotov, so the bomb will be planted, and it has to be the retake. The players from B have already rotated in, but holding the site. It is the flash going over. Heroic looking to hold. Freiburg already in position towards Ramp. They spotted Plemef cross towards jungle, and Stan is under pressure, trying to take a fight. He'll get 1 kill. Mertz gets 1, and Stan will get another. It's all on Z-Par with the AWP, and at this point, it's save time.
The triple kill from Stan comes out at no more of an important moment in the game. Z-Power with the AWP, he's got no utility, and the Kith trying to get out of there alive. They know that he's here at this point. I think they just about heard him. Grouping up towards Kitchen, he comes off the angle at the wrong moment, being hunted from short as well.
Oh no.
Lit to 18 HP, he's dead. He's not getting out of there alive. There's no way out, and there may be no way forward for forZe in this tournament, as they need 5 consecutive rounds, and they've got barely anything to work with. Z-Power on the AWP. Jerry has got himself an AUG. The rest of the team are going to have to even avoid heavy rifles. They can't afford to take them out.
That was the worst case scenario possible there for forZe. Losing that AWP on Z-Par. He at least will have money to get 1 in. So this is literally anything they can invest in to get it through. They'll have the AWP on Z-Par. FAMAS for Almazer. AUG there on Jerry. Face crack. Get the purchase, but eventually will. Tactical timeout is undone, and we've got 10 seconds until round number 26 will begin. Heroic looking to try and book themselves that spot. Been coming for quite some time. They've looked very solid throughout the entire tournament. No one has really touched them. They have been challenged here and there, but overall they have looked the most solid team in the event. Towards B they go early. Stavin, player sprung to action here, coming from ex-Frogsters, a team that had just crumbled and died. He is picked up by Heroic, and he's given them a new sign of life, a new fire part. Heroic can wheel to success. Time slowing down again.
They're making forZe sweat at this point. I mean, with all the FAMAS in play, an AUG and an AWP, things are looking pretty bleak as they are. They might even feel pressure towards going for some aggression. We talked about Blamef earlier on, actually. He was certainly the player that was standing out the most, and although the kills have started to catch up on him, he's still sitting at 110 ADR. He's been so pivotal to Heroic's success today. Yesterday it was mainly Stown and I believe Esatag who were doing a lot of the work on the rifles. Mertz obviously up there with the AWP. We've had a lot of heavy performers for Heroic, and right now, it's going to be forZe that step it up. The individuals better shine through as the A bomb site's under threat and 3 players to defend it.
Yeah, immediately the utility tossed in towards the A side. Big gap in that smoke though for Flit to play with. He moves his way down towards the bottom of the stairs. But here comes the push. Heroic looking to try and end this as they go on in. Jerry needs to step up for forZe. He will find himself one, make it two. But Esitai comes in with two more himself. It's got to be a 3v3 retake. The bomb planted. FaZe, Almazer, and Zepar desperately looking for a way back into the site. There on the stairs is FaZe. Esitai hiding behind Ninja. They've got their post-plant positions established as Mertz arrives to ramp. This is going to be incredibly difficult as Esitai finds one. It's Blame F and Mertz up against Almazer and Zepar. They just need to hold on. The bomb gets tapped. Almazer sticking it. 7 seconds on the defuse. They're surely peeking, but Zepar finds the kill. It's all on Mertz, the Molotov. But is there time? The Molotov doesn't get it. The defuse surely doesn't come through. It does. Almazer stays alive alongside forZe. It's 15-10. And what a ballsy play that was.
Sticking it, covered by the op, perfectly executed. He could only take down the Palace player, and Mertz wasn't there on time, sadly, with the Molotov. Beautifully executed retake for forZe in a position that looked like they wouldn't be able to keep themselves alive. But once more, they are going to be threatened as Heroic delve into their economy once more and pull out a couple of rifles, indeed a full buy, as full as can be. But nonetheless, Zepar takes down Blame F to empty out a couple of the hardware pieces that are floating around. Mertz takes down A though. The A bomb site's completely open. FaZe coming in from connector is known. Flashes over, bomb to be planted in just a matter of moments. They've got CT control. This is falling apart. Heroic, if they can win this fight, and CT may just win the map.
While Zepar holding the angle on the other end of it is the challenging Opera of Mertz. Yet to find a kill just yet as they move through. It's still the advantage. Freiburg burns alive FaZe, and it's a 3v3 again. Deja vu. Zepar holds, can't get it. It's Mertz, but Freiburg finds a kill as well. And it's all on Flit to stop them from falling in this tournament. 3 more players for him to find. 2 are low. Make it 3 are low, actually. All 3 of them completely low on health as Flit starts to move back in towards the site. They know where he is. The time's so low. He's under pressure, and Mertz will book themselves a spot at IEM Sydney. They are the victors of the GG.BET Sydney Invitational. Heroic.
What a phenomenal play. The push towards CT executed perfectly. I love how they create space. Mertz goes in there, finds a kill with the op, falls back. They're baited in to try and take him down, thinking that he's going to be cocking the bolt. In fact, he had his back turned. His teammates were there to help him out and find the kills. And again, just a well-rounded performance. Great team play from these guys. Blame F, definitely a standout player in that series overall. But towards the end, Mertz really stepped it up with the AWP. You could feel his impact in the rounds. It was tangible, and unlucky for forZe. I think they've come a long way and still showing us that they're a formidable force, but just not quite able to close it out, and they just shallowly miss out on their place in IEM Sydney.
Yeah, commiserations to forZe. They have been on the rise, you know, been in the top 30 since PLG Abu Dhabi. They've been in the top 30 for 3 months as they start to climb up the ladders, playing well in the MDL, taking big names. They've beat ENCE online as well. They played stellar Counter-Strike in the GG.BET Invitational, and just when they come up against their final challenge, Heroic, they can't quite get it. Heroic are the champions. We'll see them at IEM Sydney, and we'll hope we'll see you guys soon at another tournament. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you had a great time watching this stream.
CSBet.GG guarantees to show the actual drop rate with precision to the hundreds. Find the best skins only in cases at CSBet.GG.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.